The gentlewoman from California, Ms. Waters, the ranking member of the full committee, is recognized for 5 minutes for questions.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, before I get started, I'd like to thank Representative Ms. Smith for being here representing WilmerHale law firm. I'd like to send a message to your law firm that I appreciate fighting back against Trump, who's attempting to strip the law firm from their security clearances. Many of our law firms are weak and spineless, and they are succumbing to his threats, and they're cutting deals that are not in the best interest of this country or these people or the people. So I thank you for being here. Let me just start by saying I must highlight over 2 days Americans lost $6.6 trillion due to Trump's failed tariff policies. But as Americans wonder how they will afford retirement or afford groceries, Trump is sitting pretty. In 1 year, he has doubled his wealth through various crypto schemes and is using the power of the president to make himself richer. Ladies and gentlemen, members of this committee, you know that Mr. McHenry and I worked in a bipartisan way to try to come to some consensus about the guardrails that were needed to protect our investors as it relates to crypto. But this committee is helping Trump. Last week, this committee voted to take Trump, make him the king of crypto by passing legislation that lets him corner the market on stablecoins, kick George Washington off the dollar, and make his own stablecoin U.S. legal tender instead of stopping this grift. You enable it, Mr. Chairman. We need to stop Trump before he takes any steps further on crypto legislation. In just 1 year, Ms. Thornton, I'd like to direct this toward you. President Trump has doubled his wealth from $2.3 billion to $5.1 billion. His fraudulent meme coin lost investors $2 billion, while he and his family pocketed at least $350 million. His complex well of companies and revenue, including the Trump meme coin, his decentralized finance platform, World Liberty Financial, pending stablecoin, and Bitcoin mining venture, have all massively contributed to his wealth. I'm deeply concerned that these ventures have created an avenue for interested parties, whether they are allies or adversaries, to anonymously transfer money to him and his inner circle. At the same time, it is no coincidence that the Trump administration's Securities and Exchange Commission has issued guidance saying meme coins, stable coins, and crypto mining are not securities and therefore are not subject to the agency's oversight and investor protections. Additionally, this week, the Department of Justice dismantled the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team and directed the Market Integrity and Major Frauds Unit to cease crypto enforcement and not charge regulatory violations in cases involving digital assets, such as violations of the Bank Secrecy Act. What will these conflicts of interest and dismantled enforcement mean for investors, especially if the SEC is not overseeing Trump's myriad crypto businesses?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman Waters. I'm not an ethics lawyer, so I can't comment on that personally about President Trump. But it is definitely true that this industry continues to have thefts, frauds, hacks, and that should be very concerning because it raises a lot of risks. And unfortunately,
excuse me,
sure.
Do you think the President of the United States should own crypto and mine coins and interfere with us while we're negotiating on stable coins and trying to get guardrails? Do you think the president should be doing that?
The commission is an independent branch of government that should do what it needs to do, and it has oversight over this area of legislation. And it's very important because many of the functions that the other folks on this panel have talked about are also functions in securities law. So there are many similarities between what happens in the crypto business and what happens in other.
Do you understand that Mr. McHenry and I were getting very close to some agreements on having guardrails when we've been interfered by the President of the United States of America? Do you know that?
I wasn't aware of the interview, but I was aware of the legislation, yes.
Thank you.